Welcome back to Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something profound. It's that period, those 3 days between Jesus' death on the cross and the resurrection. And it's easy to think of it as just silence, right? A gap. But the Bible actually hints there's this, cosmic drama unfolding. So our mission today is to unpack what the scriptures suggest Jesus was actually doing. We'll look at clues from both the Old and New Testaments. It's a story of victory, and honestly, it has some really big implications for you.
It does. And interesting thing is, while the Bible isn't like a minute-by-minute account of those days,
Right.
What it does give us is incredibly rich theologically. It points to Christ's complete total triumph over death and wasn't just about rising again on Sunday. The victory was already in motion.
Okay, so let's ground ourselves first. The basic timeline everyone knows. Crucifixion Friday, body in the tomb Saturday, resurrection Sunday morning. Simple enough, but boom, right there on the cross, Luke 23:43, Jesus says something astonishing to the thief next to him. Today you will be with me in paradise.
Yeah, and this word paradise, it's absolutely crucial. We need to understand what it meant then.
Go.
It wasn't heaven, not directly like we might picture it now. The understanding at the time was that this paradise was Abraham's bosom.
Abraham's bosom.
Right, a specific place within Sheol, or Hades, the realm of the dead. It was where the righteous, Abraham, the prophets, waited for the Messiah.
Wow. Okay, so that immediately tells us Jesus' spirit wasn't dormant. He was conscious, active.
Exactly, and the thief would join him there that day, active from the moment of death.
So if Jesus' spirit went to this specific part of Sheol, this paradise, it begs the question, what else was happening? What about the rest of that realm, the lower parts of the earth?
That's where things get really interesting. You've got passages like Ephesians 4, verse 9. It says he also first descended into the lower parts of the earth.
Lower parts of the earth. And we're saying that refers to Sheol, Hades, the realm of the dead, generally.
That's the common understanding, yes. And the key thing here, really important, is that he descended not for punishment. He wasn't suffering condemnation there.
No.
It was to fulfill his mission. His redemptive work wasn't paused.
Okay. So then you get to 1 Peter 3:1d, and this one causes a lot of discussion. It says, he proclaimed to the spirits in prison. What was that proclamation? I mean, was he giving them a second chance, preaching the gospel?
That's a common question, but the Greek word there, charise, it's more like a herald making an official announcement.
Not evangelizing.
No, not euageulegia. He was announcing his victory, declaring his triumph over sin, death, and the demonic powers that held humanity captive. He was saying, it is finished, I have won.
And who are these spirits?
Well, interpretations vary, but many scholars connect them to fallen angels or perhaps rebellious human spirits from, say, Noah's time. The point is, he was declaring his authority over them.
Right, okay. Then, Ephesians 4, verse 8. This phrase is just incredible. He led captivity captive. What on earth does that mean?
This is huge. It's absolutely pivotal. That captivity, he led captive, it refers to the righteous dead.
The ones in Abraham's bosom.
Exactly. The Old Testament saints, Abraham, Moses, David, Ruth, Isaiah, all those who had died in faith but were waiting for redemption's completion.
So he didn't just visit them.
No, he led them out like a conquering hero freeing prisoners. He essentially emptied that waiting place, that paradise below, and transferred them, ushered them into paradise above, into the very presence of God. This is a massive shift. Before Christ, even the righteous waited. Now, the way is open.
That's an image of absolute authority, like a general liberating his people.
It is. And think about Revelation 1:18, where the resurrected Jesus says, I am he who lives and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. And then he adds this, and I have the keys of Hades and of death.
The keys.
He holds the keys. He has complete sovereignty. Death and Hades are no longer the final jailers. He decides who comes and goes. That's ultimate victory.
And this whole triumphant journey, it actually seems to be pictured like prophetically in the Old Testament, doesn't it? I'm thinking of Psalm 24.
Oh, absolutely. Psalm 24, verses 7 to 10. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in.
It sounds like a command to the gates of Hades itself.
Exactly. While it might have had an original context, maybe the ark entering Jerusalem, Christian tradition has long seen this as a stunning prophecy of Jesus. After conquering death, he ascends, approaches the gates of the heavenly realm, perhaps even the gates of Hades he just plundered.
And demands entry as the victor.
Yes. The King of glory identified as the Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Who else could that be but Christ, fresh from defeating the ultimate enemy?
So those gates, those everlasting doors, They represent death, the grave, powers that thought they could hold humanity.
But they couldn't. And imagine that procession. He's leading Abraham, Moses, David, all the faithful, finally being brought into God's immediate glorious presence. The doors are flung wide open because of him.
It's such a powerful image. And the Bible does this a lot, right?
Yeah.
Uses these types or foreshadowings in the Old Testament.
It does. It weaves this incredible tapestry.
So what other Old Testament stories kind of echo this theme, this 3-day period, the descent, the victory?
Well, the most direct one, the one Jesus himself pointed to, is Jonah.
Right, Matthew 12.
Exactly. Jesus says, just as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the great fish, the Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. And Jonah even describes the fish's belly as the belly of Sheol or hell. It's an explicit parallel.
Can't get much clearer than that. Are there others that maybe aren't as direct but still resonate?
Definitely. Think about Joseph. Thrown into a pit by his brothers, presumed dead, ends up imprisoned in Egypt, but then he's raised up, second only to Pharaoh, and saves his family, saves nations. It mirrors Jesus' descent, seeming defeat, and then exaltation and liberation.
That fits really well. Any others?
Well, you could look at the Passover lamb itself. Jesus is the Lamb of God. His death provides redemption, just as the original lamb's blood protected Israel. And his work during those 3 days ensures the liberated captives are brought safely to God, fulfilling that deliverance theme. There's also the grain of wheat image Jesus used in John 12. Unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it produces much fruit. That burial is necessary for the harvest of new life his resurrection brings.
And even Jesus' own words about the temple.
Yes, John 2. Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. He was speaking of the temple of his body. Destruction, burial, then being rebuilt, raised up. It all connects.
You could even point to hints in the prophets, like Hosea 6.2 perhaps. After 2 days he will revive us. On the 3rd day he will raise us up.
It certainly provides a prophetic backdrop, a sense that this 3rd day restoration was part of God's unfolding plan.
In Psalm 16.10, Peter quotes this in Acts.
Critically important. For you will not leave my soul in Sheol, nor will you allow your Holy One to see corruption. Peter explicitly applies this to Jesus. His soul wasn't abandoned in Hades, and his physical body didn't decay in the tomb. Both aspects were part of the victory.
Okay, so we have the descent, the proclamation, leading captivity captive, all these Old Testament echoes.
Yeah.
But then there's something physically seen right after his death. Matthew 27 mentions it.
Yes, this is quite startling. Verses 52 and 53. The graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised, and coming out of the graves after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many.
Wow. So graves open at his death, but they come out after his resurrection.
The timing is fascinating, isn't it? The power is unleashed at his death, breaking open the tombs. But their visible appearance happens after he himself is raised. It's like they're the first evidence, the first fruits of the general resurrection he has now secured.
A literal demonstration of his power over death. People saw them.
Exactly. It's this tangible sign that death's grip has been shattered, not just spiritually or in some hidden realm, but physically too. His victory had immediate visible consequences.
Okay, so we've gone deep into the scriptures, the timeline, the actions, the prophecies. Let's bring it home. What does all this, Jesus' work during those 3 days, what does it mean for us? For you listening right now, what's the so what?
The so what is absolutely massive. It fundamentally changes our understanding of death as believers. Before Christ's work was completed, even the righteous dead went to Sheol to wait in Abraham's bosom.
Right, that waiting place.
But because of what Christ did, descending, conquering, ascending, leading captivity captive, that waiting period is over for those in him. Death for a believer is no longer about going to a holding place in Hades.
It's different now.
Completely different. Now, it's immediate presence with the Lord.
Yeah.
Think of Paul's words, 2 Corinthians 5.8. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord.
Instantly.
In Philippians 1.23, Paul says he desires to depart and be with Christ, for that is very much better. There's no mention of an intermediate waiting zone anymore for the believer. Christ opened the direct way.
So the gates of heaven, the real paradise, are definitively open now because of what he did during those 3 days.
That's the core of it. His victory wasn't just for him. It was for us. His descent, his proclamation, his conquering of Hades, his resurrection, his ascension, it guarantees that for everyone who trusts in him, death is not an end, not even a pause in some shadowy realm, but an immediate entrance into the presence of God.
He took the keys. He opened the doors.
He holds the keys. Death has lost its ultimate power over the believer. His work was utterly comprehensive, spanning every realm, securing our future. That's the comfort and the hope. What an incredible journey through just 3 days. From that promise on the cross, today you'll be with me, through the descent, the heralding of victory, leading those saints out. He truly is the King of Glory.
Absolutely. It wasn't a passive time at all. It was active, cosmic, decisive victory. It reassures us that the grip of death, that ultimate fear, has been definitively broken for everyone who believes in him.
So maybe here's a thought to leave you with today, something provocative. If Jesus, the King of Glory, so completely conquered the deepest realms of death and the grave, took the keys, broke the gates, led the captives free, what gates in your own life, what areas that feel like prisons or captivities, might he be ready and able to break open for you right now? What victory might he want to lead